Joe Chill kills Batman's parents, so in retaliation, Batman decides to bang his daughter. Tony Zuko, on the other hand, kills Nightwing's mom and dad, so he decides to follow in Batman's footsteps and bang his daughter as well. Good to know that father and son have a healthy way of avenging their family members, eh? But jokes aside, some scenes in comics are as unnecessary as seeing Nightcrawler, Deadpool, and the new Spider-Man guy announcing that they're into furries. Frankly, I don't want to see it. Just like how I don't want to see two gay dudes try to Bruce Banner in a YMCA, but I guess you have to almost expect these type of stories from Marvel and DC. Like, remember the time when Mr. Terrific's kid passed away and shockingly enough, he expressed his relief about the death of his child and admitted he didn't want any, so he felt no guilt about his death. What's more surprising is that the story was written by this guy, the same guy who's helping James Gunn to expand the DCU, so let's just hope we don't get to see any of that on the big screen. But I do have to say, nothing traumatized me more than seeing Carol Danvers giving birth to this Dr. Neocortex looking motherfucker than marrying him. Yep, this is something that actually happened. The guy traveled back in time by putting himself inside Captain Marvel, then she somehow fell in love with him, which technically means she fell for her own son. I know we've talked about similar incestuous relationships on this channel. There was even at one point where Thor dated Phoenix, who is considered to be his mother, which was weirdly written by the one guy who hates Thor with a passion. Like, I don't know, there's just something about these old comics that make them look super uncanny. There was even a Golden Age story that got away with sending black men into space, making it so that only white people existed on Earth. Maybe it had something to do with most of the writers being World War veterans who may or may not have suffered from PTSD. And speaking of soldiers and questionable moralities, can we all take a moment to appreciate how much of a scumbag Deathstroke truly is? Like, sure, everyone knows about his questionable relationship with Tara, but we're forgetting that he was the guy who slept with his son's fiancée because he was convinced that she was a spy, which drove her to commit suicide. Then he found that she actually wasn't. I still can't decide if this was worse or his Marvel counterpart committing mass murder as soon as he found out he's living in a fictional world. But anyways, aside from the weird stories, there's a whole bunch of other unnecessary Elseworld stories, like the one where Wolverine becomes a gay Neanderthal who got his claws as a gift from his boyfriend, or the one where he becomes a vampire hunter by becoming a vampire. Also, please tell me I'm not the only one who's noticing that all the superheroes have at least that one vampire story, and most of the times when someone is a vampire hunter, they also happen to be a vampire themselves. But in my opinion, the worst one has to be the unnecessary expansion of the Spider-Verse. Like, remember the time when Miles became an Asgardian god that received a very heavy backlash from the fans and was titled as one of the most racist comics of all time? Well, it seems like Marvel hasn't learned from that, and they recently added an all-powerful Spider-God to the Spider-Verse, which the fans don't seem to be too happy about it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think of this. Please let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe to all the good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.